welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel this evening, guys. And we were looking today for a reaction from the team. We were looking for some sort of response. We thought Thursday was bad. We thought that on Thursday, it can't get much worse than that. That performance wasn't good. Surely there's going to be something better around the corner. Well, how about that? It's worse. That was much worse, actually. What an absolute horror show from Barça against Almeria tonight. That was one of, if not the worst performances I've seen. I'm not even just going to say this season. I think going back, that was one of the worst Barça displays I've seen in a long time. What happened? Why did it happen? We're going to be talking about it all. We've blown our chance to go 10 points clear, and we've actually gone backwards this weekend in the title race. Let's do it. Because from the very beginning this weekend, Xavi Hernandez, in my opinion, took a massive risk in terms of his starting lineup. We all know that in this game, ahead of Real Madrid, there might have been some rotation. We knew there might be a few players here and there rotated out of the team. But I think, again, in defence, you take a massive risk there with that back line already in this game to put both Koundé and Araujo on the bench at the same time in an away stadium like this. It's a big risk. There was no injury problems for either of them. Araujo came on in the game. It was simply about rotating and Balde as well to be left out. And that's what you're left with. You are left then with Jordi Alba, with Eric Garcia. Christensen stayed there, but then Roberto as well in that back line. And again, you changed 3 of the 4. And I just think here, when we've been at our best this season, the run that we had quite recently, where we looked so strong, it was because we consistently lined up with the same defence. And there was very minimal change. And I think now we started every game. Change the whole thing. 1 week to the next, we don't know who's going to be playing in your backline. That is what gives confidence to the rest of the team, and we keep on destroying it. And Almeria took the lead. I mean, of course they did. Pretty early on in the game there, they started with more energy, more intensity than Barça. They played their way in behind our backline. It's a one-on-one chance there against Ter Stegen, and we've seen Ter Stegen this season make huge saves from these sort of positions. But you've got to say, what a finish. Almeria there taking the lead in emphatic fashion. Thunderous drive there in off the crossbar. And at that point in the game, you're thinking, okay, can we hit back now? We've gone 1-0 down, but we were playing here, let's not forget, guys, against a team who heading into this weekend, Almeria, 17th they were, heading into the weekend. Last weekend, by the way, our city neighbours Girona put 6 past Almeria. Almeria conceded 6 goals last weekend, and we couldn't score. Now, the number one problem, of course, it was all about creativity. This here is the team that started the game there, played the first half. It was absolutely woeful in that first half. We didn't have a single shot on target. And you can see quite clearly here, again, we're going with 4 midfielders. You've got Gavi out on the left-hand side coming in. You've got Kessie, you've got Frenkie, you've got Busquets. But in the centre of the field in this game, nothing. No creativity whatsoever. Kessie, he's not a creative player. He's okay in and around these positions here, making runs if he's sort of disrupting the play in terms there of making a run that's not recognised by the opposition, dragging a player out of position, trying to take up space. But in terms of actually picking up the ball between the lines and creating, that's not who he is. You didn't get anything from Frenkie. You didn't get anything from Sergio Busquets. So what that meant was, right the way through that first half there, Ferran, he was actually having to try and get on the ball. He was coming time and time again infield. He was coming centrally to try and create something, and there was nothing. Roberto did nothing here down the right-hand side, and it was just a team out there from Barça that were just so static, so slow in possession, didn't make anything happen. In the first half, it was just dreadful. Now, I would like to say that, in the second half, though, it all changed. Somehow, we changed the game around, and Barça got going. Well, at half-time, Xavi did make one change very early on. It was a swap there with Kessie indeed going off the field, Rafinha then coming on, and what that meant was that Rafinha went over to his natural right-hand side. Ferran Torres then was pushed over to the left, but again, he was coming centrally at times, and then we were relying on Jordi Alba to really push on that left-hand side. But again, nothing really changed, because I think from the very beginning of that second half, it seemed to me the message from Xavi was, let's cross the ball. That was it. That was the only instruction I feel that we had right throughout today's game. Get the ball wide, get the ball in the box. It was almost as though we were Almeria, because usually that's what the inferior teams do. They're not going to try and thread their way through. They're not going to try and find a way. All they're going to do is stick it in the mixer. What are we doing? I mean, what are we actually doing? 67 minutes then into the game, I think that was actually proven, that tactic, because Xavi then brings on Araujo and brings on Marcos Alonso. Now again, you tried to rest Araujo by not starting him, then we bring him on anyway. So it kind of makes it all pointless in the first place. And then you bring on Alonso for Jordi Alba, and I just think it became clear then, very, very clear, even with 20 odd minutes to go in the game, we're going to push Araujo forward. He's going to be the target man there alongside Lewandowski. Marcos Alonso's out there to just pile balls into the box as well. And I think the only time that we created anything in this game, the only player who created anything of note, it was Ferran Torres, because he was one of the players who, it's okay if you're going to cross the ball at times. It's okay to put crosses in there, but can we at least make sure they're decent ones? Can we at least make sure we're trying to pick out a man crossing the ball with a bit of pace on it? He did that. To be fair to Ferran, he was the only player today who created anything of note, who looked like causing danger. His crosses from the left-hand side, in swinging, they certainly were doing that. But there was nothing happening. Inside of the box today, how many chances, guys, do you go away from this game today thinking, we were so close. We were right there. We were unlucky. We didn't quite make it happen. It was so near. It just wasn't. We weren't even close to scoring in today's game. And that's the incredible thing here. We have played 90 minutes of football. We have had, in the end of it, one shot on goal. One shot on goal. Almeria, who spent most of the time camped in their own half, they still had four shots on goal. It's unbelievable. I cannot believe, guys, the performance that we've seen today from Barca. And Eric Garcia has just come out after the game. I've just seen him now in his press conference, what he said. He said there, we didn't match their intensity. I'm just sick of this, guys. How many times are we going to hear, after a game like this, oh, we didn't match them? It's your job to match the intensity. That is literally what you're out there being paid to do. You are Barcelona players. Match the opposition. Do what you have to do to win the game. And we just fell flat today. We've heard so much about the league being our priority, so much about the fact that, the Europa League doesn't really matter, not an important competition for us, not really where we want to be. We want to win the league though, but today we had a chance to go 10 points clear. Real Madrid yesterday, they slipped up against Atletico. We could have built confidence ahead of our game against them by winning today, getting the job done. And it just feels like we've taken our eye off the ball again. It just feels like another game that we didn't approach in the right manner. From the very first whistle, we were not focused, we were not ready, and we've paid a very, very big price. And Xavi now has to go away from this game. The gamble with the rotation did not pay off. These players, again, there's those out there not taking their chances, not able to show that honestly, they deserve to wear the shirt. Some of them in this Barcelona team right now, they shouldn't be there. It's as simple as that, guys. You know exactly who I'm referencing in this team right now. It is not good enough, and we got to see some sort of response. We should have seen some sort of response today. We didn't. What's going to happen against Real? That game now is coming Thursday, semi-final, first leg at the Bernabeu. What a massive game that is, and what a massive challenge we have on our hands right now. How are these players? How is the coach gonna respond? So what a word like from you guys in the comments down below. Not been a good day, not really been a good week to be honest, has it? And what I want to know from you in the comments down below is what is going wrong right now with this team. What is happening? What has happened to us? This Barca team that looked promising, that looked like we were going places, looked as though we had a run of form going. It's been snapped. It has well and truly come to an end now. We've got to reassess. We have to do some talking, and let me know down below where the issues lie and what we can do to somehow find a way through this. I will see you soon, of course. We'll be talking more about this game and more about that massive game now against Real Madrid. That's coming up in just a few days' time. We've got to find a way to be ready for it. I will see you then, guys, with all of that to come. Thank you still for your great support and for tuning in. I'll be back with you soon. Enjoy, though, the rest of your Sunday if you can. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.